Curtis, you kind of got put in the middle of everything last week. Can we just kind of put this to rest and talk a little bit about the tweet that you sent out about, people looking for clicks and all the stuff that was going around about, fights in the locker room and all that stuff at halftime. Did you kind of have a statement or anything to kind of put that to rest?
Um, it kind of blows my mind that someone, at the end of the day, reporters aren't going to report something if they don't trust their source. So the fact that story got out meant the reporter obviously felt like it was somebody close to the locker room or in the locker room that would drop a story like that. And this is an intense sport. Obviously, things are heightened last in Texas week, but for someone to drop that was this big fist fight in the locker room, it just blows my mind. Not even from my end, just from this team. It makes the team look bad. I could care less if people think I fought my coach. My coaching staff knows what happened. My teammates know what happened. At the end of the day, there was no huge argument. There was no huge fist fight. I was a little frustrated with how we were playing. I was a little frustrated. I didn't play in the second quarter. We got in the locker room, and I got my checks through my coaches, and things got heated in there, just how they always do. That's how it goes. And a guy like me, sometimes I just need my space, and I was getting a little too riled up in there. The crazy thing about it is me and Coach Stoops didn't personally exchange a word in the locker room, which so it's crazy to me that someone would drop that. Coach Stoops was pissed off at how we were playing, and his every right to. He was the D coordinator at the time, and we weren't playing good. We weren't playing up to the standard, and that's not the problem I had. My problems were more internally. I didn't have a problem with Coach Stoops at halftime. I just needed to get some air, and next thing you know, people see me walking out the locker room pissed off, and saw this. I quit on my team, this and that, and I just wanted to nip that in the bud where it stood, because I care about this team. I love this team. I love my teammates. I care about my coaches. I trust my coaches, and I'm not gonna walk out on them. I needed some air. That's all that was. I needed some air to lock in, and I think I came out in the second half and played pretty good personally. We had a lot to work on defensively, but that was more for me just to get locked back in, and I love this team. I'm not gonna quit on it. I didn't spend 4 years on the bench to work my tail off and get a starting spot in my senior year and walk out in a Texas game where some things get heated. I'm a leader of this team. I feel like I'm a leader of this team. I could have handled it better, of course. That's just reflection. I got to handle situations like that better. It's not about me anymore. I'm a senior. I make a lot of plays for this defense. I got to set an example for our team, and I can handle that better. But at the end of the day, this story where me and Coach Mike are in a fist fight in the locker room is completely untrue. The fact that it was out there kind of pissed me off. But like I said before, it is what it is. The story dropped. It came out. It's not true. Things happened the way they happened last week with Coach Mike personally, and I got nothing but love for that man. Going forward, I'm praying for him and his family, that things get figured out on his end, and he finds something that somewhere that he could strive at. But as of me, I'm moving forward. Texas game's over. There's a lot of things I could have played better. I could have handled the halftime situation better. But at the end of the day, that's all in the past now. And I'm focused on TCU. I have been since Sunday after the Texas game. So that's what I'm focused on now. It is what it is. Everything else, I think, is in the win now.
So, to be clear, you didn't get very far out of the locker room. It doesn't sound like.
No, my plan was just to walk out, go back where the trucks were,
Yeah.
To private area.
Yeah.
So I could get some air. It's real hot in the locker room too. Emotions were flying from a lot of directions. I stayed in there to get the defensive checks that we needed, the game plan that we needed, and to my regret, I walked out pissed off. It looked bad in front of anyone that was standing outside the locker room looking in. It's so when a story drops like that, I can see where people believe that. So I just tried to walk off where the trucks were. I took a bad exit, walk into the main tunnel where everyone is instead of walking out the back door, just sitting out there for a minute or two, and going back in and handling what I needed to handle. But outside of that, I think I could have handled it better. But situations are gonna happen. I'm gonna get heated. I'm not a crybaby, but I'm an emotional guy. I wear my heart on my sleeve. So it's when I get riled up like that, it's hard for me to. It's just easier for me to take a breath, get a second, lock back in, and walk back in and be what this team needs.
So, Buzzy, now that this has gone on and come down, how can you guys get up to that standard you're talking about? You need to. The coaching changes happened. You guys have had a week to work on yourself. So, what do you got to do to get to that standard you feel like you guys need to get to?
At this point, it's a process. We haven't played like we need to. Thought we started the year out well. I don't think we played perfect in the beginning here by no means, but I thought they were good building blocks to move on. And I think we took a few steps back in these last few weeks. And this bye week was, beneficial. The coaching change. Obviously, Coach Riley felt like we needed new leadership. It starts from the top down. I'm a soldier. I'm going to get a game plan and play the best I can play and try to make sure my teammates play the best they play. I think the best thing going forward is that we got a different game plan in. Coach Ruff's a very intelligent football coach. He knows what he's talking about. He trusts us. We have a lot of talent in the room. I don't think talent's the issue. I don't think coaching's the issue. I don't think scheme's the issue. We just got to learn how to tie all those in and play as one unit, because I think we play really good football sometimes, and other times we play really bad football. And a lot of that has to do with effort and tackling. And that's something, as a coach, you have to fundamentally make sure everybody knows how to tackle and make sure that you got guys out on the field that are running to the football. But at the end of the day, it stems off from us. I take blame for that. I didn't tackle. I've missed a fair amount of tackles this year, and that's something that I work on in practice. That's something that our coaching staff emphasizes. We've turned it up in these last few weeks. There's no more joking around. Practice is real serious. Obviously we try to have fun with it, because at the end of the day, if you're not having fun with it, you're not going to play good. If you're too tense, you can't. It's hard to play football tensed up. So, we try to keep it fun, but at the end of the day, it's business. More so than the first 6 weeks. I've tried to lock in more, and just go out there and we got a new game plan. I like the game plan. I think it's going to work to our benefit. But at the end of the day, I can't sit here and promise you guys anything's going to be different. All I can say is that from our end, we're recognizing the issues and we're addressing those internally. We hear all the outside opinions, and by all right, we've played bad, and I'm not surprised that that's what's been flying around. It's been flying around for the last few years, and rightfully so. We haven't played up to standard, and the last thing you want to be is the weak link, and we're trying to be a strong point. We want to play good. We want to dominate. So at the end of the day, we put our game plan in. We've been busting our tails, and we'll see we'll see what all this effort and what this fire that this Texas loss lit under us on Saturday.
What's been the biggest difference over the last 9 days?
I think it's more so of a documentation. Everything's real planned out. It's not. I'm not saying what Coach Mike. It was real loose and it was real unscripted. But Coach Ruffin's more of a serious guy. It's like a practice. We're working on better tackling drills. I just got done saying this earlier, but our tackling drills are helping us. We're trying to implement tackling drills that translate to the game. And for me, that's open field tackling, that's shitting blocks and trying to hit running backs in holes. Our D-line does that. Our DBs work on a lot more open field tackling. Just getting our quick guys like Ja'Kalen Crawford and a few other guys from our offense that aren't playing as much, just to get over there and beforehand it was more of a go through the motion type of tackling thing. Now it's personally I want them to try to break me off because Ja'Kalen's he's damn good with the ball. So if I can base him up and wrap him up, there's not many guys in the league that are shiftier than him. So it's more of an emphasis on just want to from more so from the players. I really hate losing, and I hate losing in the manner that we lost too. So I've tried to lock in more. Just try to dominate practice too, not just the game. I thought a lot of the times before it got not a complacency thing, but more of a going through the motions kind of thing. And now it's we're gonna play hard. We're gonna play game standard in practice too, and hopefully that shows this weekend. I'm really interested on how we're gonna play this weekend because it's either gonna go really good or really bad, and I'm leaning towards really good. So I know I'm excited for myself. I know my teammates are excited. I know a lot of guys put on tape last week that they weren't proud of, and at the end of the day, the guys here, if there's one thing, we're gonna fight, and there's a lot of guys that are looking to redeem themselves. I'm one of them, and at the end of the day, I'm just trying to prepare myself as best as I can for this Saturday.
One or two more for Curtis.
Curtis, what's the confidence level in your defense right now?
Um,
And if it's not where it needs to be, what can you do to get it up?
It was, to start the season out, it was high. I thought after the first few games it was high. Got punched in the mouth by Army. I thought we took a knock there. We played fairly decent after that. Not too great, not terrible though. And outside of some terrible plays in those few games after Army, and then I thought it started going not downhill, but we started taking hits confidence wise in the games after, in the Baylors and Iowa States, and then when you lose to Texas and you lose in the manner that you lose to Texas by, and I don't have to tell y'all watched the game. We didn't play very well, and that hit me hard as well as it hit the team hard. And when we came in and got the news that we were going to move on from Coach Mike, and they had appointed Coach Ruff, kind of revitalized me personally, because I played on the line of scrimmage most of my life before I got here, more of a D lineman at heart, and when a guy like that gets promoted into the DC job, that's something that I appreciate, because as a D-line coach and me being a D-lineman most of my life, we have a lot of the same ideals, and we look at things the same way. And when he was sitting down and going through the game plan with me, and I really like what he's going with things. It kind of gave me a new sense of confidence in this team. At the end of the day, they trust in us. They know we have talent. Like I said before, it's not the talent that's hurting us. It's not the coaching that's hurting us. It's not the scheme. The scheme hurts us sometimes, but it's not the scheme that hurts us overall. We just got to find a way to put all three of those together and play a complete game. And and that's what I think. I think the change in Coach Ruff getting the head coach or the DC job, and them not bringing in someone new, it was kind of like I think it was more of a respect thing from Coach Riley. He has a lot of respect for Coach Ruff. He's, like he said earlier, he has a great mind for the game. And I think it stems from trust. I trust that man. I trust his direction with this team, with this defense. And if we can continue to trust each other as players, I think the confidence will continue building. But to answer your question, I think the confidence is a little more up now that this bye week has let us get this new game plan out. I think guys are trusting the process, and we'll see how it goes on Saturday and move on from there.
We got to go with Curtis. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, man.